With that, let's head on down to Miami, where we'll hand it over to the two men calling our game. That's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Larry, thank you. The renovations, they have certainly transformed this place as EA Sports welcomes you to beautiful Miami, Florida. Tonight, we've got a good AFC matchup on tap between the Buffalo Bills and the Miami Dolphins. They'll start out on the ground with Ajayi. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25. Couple of Bills team up to bring him down there. And on your screen, the offensive starters, Jarvis Landry, a guy that we profiled.
Love his game. Not only is he going to beat you with athleticism, he's going to outwork you as well. And look for him to hurt you also in the kick return game. Now it's Tannehill. This one caught. Jordan Cameron. Oh, shifty. Jordan Cameron. He's all alone. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Jordan Cameron, 74 yards. And the Dolphins are going to take a first-quarter lead. Just how they wanted to start this one, in the end zone on their first possession. And that just happened. How about that play right there? As you said, opening possession, setting the tone for everything. And I'm going to look forward a little bit now because everyone should be celebrating his catch in the end zone. The tight end gets a little bit of love. But if you're a receiver on the team, you should be thinking to yourself, boy, oh boy, things are going to open up the rest of the game if they have to focus on him as well.
Here's the first carry for LaShawn McCoy. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. It's a big run there by McCoy. 47 yards on the ground. So it'll be first down here after the run. And they'll keep on the ground with McCoy. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And so often we talk about electric playmakers as we look at the offense here. Sammy Watkins, he's an electric playmaker. Love the word you used. Electric indeed. Dynamic. And this guy makes plays and opens the game up. Now Taylor to throw on second down. He'll set up the screen to McCoy. And he is going to lose yardage here. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down. Now that screen there on second down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket? I think the latter. I like what you said there because trying is one thing. We can second guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks. Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid? No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price. Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they? 15 cents. And out come the Dolphins now. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6. And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out. And this is Parker, complete. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That was not a completion that results in a highlight video. But at the same time, if you have those kind of completions all game long, eventually one of them might turn into a highlight. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. They'll run it now out of the gun. They find some open field here. Jay's going to go. 30. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Jay, 77 yards. And the Dolphins strike quickly here for 6 points. Well called, well blocked, and then he just made a great play. That was an athlete going a long way.
Yeah, how about the suddenness, too, of just getting there and taking off and going. For the defensive guys, plays like that really hurt.
Frank's now on to kick it away after the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And here come the Bills. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Kawamisi in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Taylor will throw. And a hit jarred loose. It's incomplete. And a look at the starters for the Miami defense.
Cameron Wake may have begun his career in Canada, but in the NFL, he's been one of the top pass rushers since he's entered the league.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. From the gun, it's Taylor. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
We are watching a runner having a really nice game. Carrying it very well. Vision is excellent, but boy, look at the help he's getting. Offensive line, I think they're pretty eager to block for him.
Here's Tannehill now on 2nd down. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down. Here's the 11 starters on defense for Buffalo. And the new coaching staff really coming in. They can look at 2 numbers, kind of yin and yang. They're good against the pass, 6th in the league, 29th, though, against the run.
Well, if you look at this new coaching staff that has taken over in Buffalo and trace their past, it starts with them stopping the run. Because they are a very aggressive, blitz-happy type of a group, but it only begins with stopping the run first. So I expect that number to improve in 2017 for Buffalo.
And Frank's kick is good. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. So after the pick, they can't capitalize for 6, but they do get 3.
And I know in this situation, most of us want to focus on the offense. You know what side of the ball I played on. Let's give that defense a lot of credit. Taking it over in a sudden change situation and shutting them down.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bills getting set to go. They'll come out in the pistol. They'll start the drive with a carry by McCoy. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, on that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Bills in possession. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out. Taylor now off the bootleg. Eluding the pressure right. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. He lost a big chunk, 6 yards there, and it leads to fourth down.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a third down stop by them.
And he gets this away, angled for the sideline with a lot behind it. Wow. So now here come the Dolphins. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
CD, wanted to get your thoughts just on the landscape of the offseason for each of these teams. Super Bowl in the rearview mirror, but so much going on. People look at the draft a lot, but there's a lot more that goes into the offseason for these front offices, is there not?
It certainly is, and then even before we get to the draft, you start with the combine. You know, that's held in Indianapolis every year, and you have about 350 of the top prospects coming together to get their physicals and interviews and on-field performance, and all that will get evaluated along with their game tape. And then you've got the free agents. All right, that starts, I believe, in early March. But now the free agents can start moving around to different teams, so your team's starting to take a little bit of shape there, free agency, because then the draft's coming up. You're trying to put your team together with new draft picks, have everyone start to move in one direction, and then you have the OTAs and minicamps. We get to see them on the field for the first time, and we start to get a better idea of how these teams are going to look when the fall begins.
And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, third down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and he ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
Second down following the run. Here's Ajayi. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Jay Ajayi with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Dolphins add on to their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
And the Bills offense comes out ready to take over. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. And a nice carry there of 15 yards. Two minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Miami after this. Now Taylor with a draw to McCoy. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. On second down, here's Taylor. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
The good signal callers will never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
Here's Taylor to throw. Forced out to his left. He may try and run for this. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 9 yards. And that's going to make it fourth down. Here's Colton Schmidt now as he's on to punt for Buffalo. And maybe some indecision on what to do, and they're going to get a delay. Here's Colton Schmidt now as he's on to punt for Buffalo. And he gets it away, and it's a laser headed for the sidelines. And out of bounds, sailed over, looked like right near the pylon. This one's going to be perfect. Directional kicking at its finest, right down at the 1-yard line. And the Dolphins getting set to go here. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
The linebacker, Preston Brown, brings him down. So the offense now dealing with a 2nd and 7.
And give him a lot of credit there, but even more credit to the guys up front. In that situation, you know it's going to be a stacked defensive.
And now the Bills are going to stop it as they call a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They come out here in the eye. On third down, here's Williams. And they're going to get the first down here across the 15-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now they try the right side here. And he roams across the 20 to the 24-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. See if they stay on the ground for second down. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Now Tannehill. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So as they take it over, we step aside. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Bills now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they felt they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. A little lull in the action here to go over an offseason storyline that's kind of interesting. L.A. a couple years ago, they have no teams, and now they're going to have two with the move from San Diego to L.A. What does that mean for the league and for the Chargers?
It seems like an easier transition, doesn't it, than St. Louis when they moved back to Los Angeles.
Less culture shock.
Less culture shock, less, obviously geography, the whole deal. But it's a transition that still is not going to be easy. Remember, they're going to go play in a soccer stadium, essentially, for at least the first couple of years before they share a stadium with the Rams. So that changes things. Obviously, trying to create an identity in the market they haven't been in a long time. They began as the Los Angeles Chargers, but only played one season as such.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Now Taylor. And the open receiver, it's Robert Woods. It'll be a gain of 16 and give him a first down as well. So he makes the grab and the chains move forward.
Nice job by the offensive line giving them time to complete that first down pass.
Let's go! Black round! Black round!
Now Taylor on first down. Looking right side, and that's complete to Watkins. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Watkins alone on the left side.
Here we go!
On first and 10, it's Taylor. Trying to set up the screen, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former Bill, Kiko Alonso. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. They come up in an offset eye. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
From our vantage point, that was just one bad play by the offensive line in a series of really good ones tonight. But I know that they're going to be really ticked off. It's a lot like a baseball pitcher losing a no-hitter late in the game.
Shreds the tackle. A sizable gain there, 9 yards as they get it back to a 3rd and 5.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
Just a yard on the run there. That's going to bring us to a 4th down. And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. On the left hash, officially, it's called a 51-yard attempt. And this one is right down the middle. And the lead increases even further. It's 27-0 now. So put another 3 on the board. And all things considered, a good opening drive here to begin the 3rd quarter.
It sure was. I think as a head coach, you're happy to come out and put a little drive together, take the 3 points, and build on your lead.
And now out come the Bills. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. They'll start on the ground with McCoy. Cuts it out to the sideline. LaShawn McCoy off to the races. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. LaShawn McCoy, 75 yards. And the Bills get a bit closer. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
This will be fielded at the 8. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And the Dolphins offense now ready to go back out on the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
Well, that was a great example of what we've been told from the time we first put on pads as little guys in the backyard. Effort will be rewarded if you keep giving it. And how about that run? Broke through a couple of tackles, refused to go down, legs churning. I like what I saw there.
And incomplete. Probably should have had that one, but with the game he's having tonight, maybe they'll let it go.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42. Lorenzo Alexander brings him down.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it. We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player. Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Now McCoy. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49. A couple of Dolphins in on the stop.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Again, it's McCoy. And they go backwards here. Losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. 9 yards to go. It's 3rd down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
Play action, it's Taylor. And incomplete here on 3rd down.
And he still doesn't have a catch. We're into the second half. I think it's a little bit of a surprise to me, but that was one he should have caught.
Absolutely, that was his best opportunity right there. He dropped it. Here's Colton Schmidt now, as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is. At the 6-yard line. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
They'll run it now out of the gun. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the 1st on the ground. And And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. And in this situation with a lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30. Corey Graham brings him down.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
They'll fake it. Now Tannehill. And it's caught by Parker. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. And now a first down following that long gain.
And they just had another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
It's the age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the times they just look at it like, let's just play the game. And however it turns out, it turns out.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Well, I'd say that run's pretty emblematic of what we've seen all day long. No matter what they've done on offense, this offensive line has controlled the line of scrimmage, given them time to throw it, run it, do whatever they wanted. That's why there are points up on the board. And right now, the psyche of the offense, we're in control, and we can do whatever we feel like doing out here on the field.
And they'll run it here. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. And the 8th play on this drive coming up. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. 2 yards gets them back to where they started, but now 3rd and 10.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can...
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Jay Ajayi from 17 yards out. And the Dolphins are able to grow their lead. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now, no question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah. What a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Give them 18 on that one. And the Bills are going to have a first down.
So many times you hear today's NFL is described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. Second down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, You've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
And he's got Greg here, the tight end. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the ball, as we just saw there. After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. He's going to let it fly. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock.
In this situation, it's really tough to figure out how to defend because they have plenty of room to still take deep shots at the end zone as they just did there. Yet at the same time, you've got to be ready for the short throw. In this case, when you see the cue that they're going for the end zone, retreat and make sure you have a way to play forward, back towards the receiver, and have a chance to bat the ball away as they did there.
And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The Dolphins are winners here as we say so long from South Florida.
Hello, my name is Kamal. I am from the clouds. I'm a human now, but I used to be a raindrop. Word up, I'm really good at putting words up. I make them levitate and circle with the birds. I don't need to force it, I let it occur. Whatever occurs, thank you. Feel like I was touched by an angel. Once again, a whole nother angle. I got a lot of holes in my angle. I got a lot of love and a whole lot of ignorance, and that's a good thing if you want to relate. I'm just trying 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 to relate. It's come out like a power with an M. I get down like gravity, rackety rappers and raps rapidly follow the rapid into the rapids of being rapping and rattling, rattle riddles and rivets into the sky. I'm a rebel feeling rhythmically clear. I am vigorous, spinning right to the rhythm, whittle the side eye. I am the killer in the grasses. I am the kid in the corner with the glasses. I am the specter, you should respect her. I don't expect the special, ain't special. I don't expect nothing. I'm just really glad I can say something. It's a blessing. Ain't no stress affecting my presence. But sometimes the pressure keep pressing. Worst keeps my impression impressed. That's the way to relate. I'm just trying 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 to relate. Live from the present. Now, present. Present. Come out. Come out. Come out. Come out.
Hard to admit that I used to draw portraiture in a human form, doodle of a two-headed unicorn. It was soothing. Moving his arm tools that amused him beyond, even if it went beautifully wrong. It was tangible truth for a youth to refuse to belong. No name nuisance, losing a bed. Uniform. Barely commune with the horde. Got a whole grayscale ungluing his world. Might zone amp to the yap of the magpie. Unseen hand dragging his graphite. Cross contour, little bit of backlight. Black ink after a Bristol to baptize. You can imagine a rush that ensue when you get 3 dimensions stuffed in a 2. Then it's off to a school where it's all you get to. Being trained and observed by a capable few. Back in New York by peeps and a dog in a 2-bedroom doing menial jobs. Plus rhyming and stealing and being a clod. Distractions, freedom, a rod. I left some years of giving a light. I left some will, the spirit away. I let my fears materialize. I let my skills deteriorate. Horn about a thought of what I should have been. Continuing a mission that was rooted in a 20-year affinity and rickety condition. Snap on the front lawn, look up in the sky. It's